I'm gonna start.
Start the recording.
And I am on mute?
No.
So you guys can hear me then?
Yes.
Can I get a thumbs up if everyone can hear me in the Zoom world?
Oh, Coach, that's a lot of thumbs up.
I know.
Bravo! What's up, Cheeks? Everybody's cool. So you're gonna be seeing me if I'm sitting over there.
Oh my God,
They're gonna see me. Yeah. They're gonna see me. All right, everybody. First of all, I want to thank everything cool. I want to thank everyone that has come to watch this very, very special event via Zoom. There's like 40 something of you guys, and I love every single one of you. There's going to be something that has been 13 years in the works. This is Breakthrough 13. If you've been around for the last 13 years, you've seen the evolution of this. It's going to be a very emotional night, so here's my advice. Feel. Be emotional. It's okay. It's okay. Cry. We got to, Nick, you brought the tissues, right? Boom!
Only for me.
I hope you brought enough for everybody. So, again, welcome. We're going to warm you guys up with a very, very special short film that was written, produced, and performed and directed by an OG hippo. If you don't know anything about hippo life, you will by the end of tonight. Well, you should anyway. So I was going to introduce the piece, but I think that since Ariel's like sitting right here, she could say a little bit about. You didn't think you were going to say this.
No, I thought you were motioning and I didn't see this.
She's going to introduce her piece, and then we are going to begin the night. Have a good time and feel this. There's going to be a lot of it.
No.
Ariel Washington.
I'm laughing my lip. So when I was given the idea to reflect on my time at the studio, it hit me all the tools that I've learned since I've been here. This studio is 13 years, but Anthony and I go back even further. And, you know, I thought about how I'd been spending that time. And so I just wanted to take the time to make this with all the tools and techniques I've been taught and put them all together. And, you know, it's an expression of just the growth I've experienced as being part of Anthony's circle. So enjoy.
Myself. I have to live with myself, and so I want to be fit for myself to know. I want to be able, as days go by, always to look myself straight in the eye. I don't want to stand with the setting sun and hate myself for the things I've done.
All right, we're ready for another round. Here we go, and 3, 2, 1, and lift. That's right, and punch, 2, 3, and twist into that punch.
I don't want to keep on a closet shelf a lot of secrets about myself
Let's go.
and fool myself as I come and go into thinking no one else will ever know. The kind of person that I really am, I don't want to dress up myself in sham. I want to go out with my head erect. I want to deserve all men's respect. but hearing the struggle for fame and wealth. I want to be able to like myself. I don't want to look at myself and know that I am bluster and bluff and empty show. I can never hide myself from me. I see what others may never see. I know what others may never know. I never can fool myself. And so, whatever happens, I want to be self-respecting. And conscience-free.
So just before I move on from that, first of all was beautiful. Those of you that have been a part of the studio this year and have come to the Thursday night classes, Ariel was the key student. And you know, we have a lot of people in the studio that are creating their own content and writing their own stuff. And Ariel has always been an amazing support to everyone and has offered such amazing guidance, and you can see why. That was very, very special. And actually, the voice that you heard in that was Ariel's mum, Sonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful. Okay, now I've got to try and follow that. They've stitched me up here. But welcome, everyone. I'm your somewhat host for the evening, Sid. Good evening to you if you're in LA. Good night to you if you're in one of the other time zones. And I know there's a few people here zooming in from China, so good morning to you. You know, this is going to be a very emotional night, but a very special night as well. You're going to see some amazing performances, and it's really nice that everyone's come together for this. So Anthony sent us this kind of show order of what's to happen, and in it says, Sid speaks from the heart. I read it as Sid speaks from his ass, because that's what I do most of the time. But I'll try and you know, put some feeling into this. I feel like for me, I've had somewhat of a unique experience in the studio. You know, I experienced being there right at the beginning when Anthony and Noah decided that it was time to go and start their own thing, all the way to being up here now and hosting Breakthrough. I experienced being one of the students that would come on a Thursday night but tactically delay my arrival so I would miss having to do Silly, Sexy or Stupid to eventually teaching that class. I experienced being a studio member that was thrown off the stage for missing a seemingly obvious red flag in a scene, to eventually being the only other full-time scene study instructor and teaching those scenes myself. And I got to finally experience all the many things that turned Anthony Gray through the years myself, but I think I managed to stay somewhat okay. It's funny because when I started to teach, there was sweepstakes amongst Noah and Anthony about how long it would take for me to lose the black in my hair.
The hair dye looks great.
The hair dye's been great. The hair dye's been great. Shout out to the sponsors. No, but and I look at all of those things really, really fondly. But if I'm to really sort of sum up what the most important thing to me during my time at this studio is the community that I feel very blessed to have been a part of. Whether it was right at the beginning, back in 2013, when there was just a handful of people that were in the studio, or whether it was during the pandemic when everything had to move online, or today when we're doing Breakthrough via Zoom and there are so many people that are joining us from all over the world, the community has always stayed very strong. And, you know, I know that Anthony always says that the studio belongs to all of us and we are what makes the studio special, but really it belongs to us and the community is as strong as what it is because of the person who's at the top. And I think Anthony's love and his dedication and his passion and his care has bled down and in and through all of us. And because of that, we've been able to maintain this really special community that we have. I know there's a lot of people out there that found this place at a time in their lives when they really needed it, when they felt alone. And it was the community where they found that acceptance and that support. I know there are people who have found friends for life in this community. I know there is also an oddly high number of people that found their life partners and spouses in this community, myself again being one of them. And I think the thing that will always stick with me is the community that Anthony created. You know, it goes without saying that he has offered the best acting training there is. But without a safe space, without a community of people that uplifts you when you're down, that makes you feel like you can get up here and fail, the training's nothing. And I feel very blessed for the community that we have. I know that there are changes moving forwards in terms of the physical structure of the studio, but the community will never, ever be lost. So, yeah, just join me for thanking Anthony and importantly as well, Noah, for creating this community and upholding it for these 13 years. All right. Before we now move on to our next act, can I remind everyone at home, if you could just please keep your cameras off and yourselves on mute. That would be great, just so we can keep the flow going. Our second performance of the night is from someone who has been in the studio, well, since we moved here. When did we come here? 2019.
Yeah.
2019, so a good 5 years. She's been an integral part of the studio. She's been a key student. She's handled the social media for us, and she's just been, one of those people who, as I said, has uplifted others and has supported others. So put it together for Carly Diesel.
Okay, so first of all, hold on. Out of the way. That was beautiful, Carly. And I want to thank Sid again. This is lovely words. I'm not buying that British accent. Oh, what are you gonna do? You know, he's been working on it for 13 years. We gotta run with it now. It's too late. I do want to call upon somebody that's like a brother to me. He's on Zoom right now. If you could turn on your camera and unmute yourself, Brian. Brian has been with me since way before the beginning. He could tell a little bit about the paths that we have walked along together. And without further ado, Brian, take it away.
Hey everybody, can you hear me okay? Yeah! Awesome! Oh my god, it's so awesome to see so many faces on here. I love you guys. Really quick, Anthony and I go back a long, long time. Anthony, I was counting it up, a little over 20 years, I think. All started with an idea, meeting in class, working together, and then have a lot of fondness with you and fondness for what you've created and the magical people that have been inspired and empowered by what you've created and each other have created. I also have tricks in my pocket. I have things in my sleeve. But I'm the opposite of a stage magician. You see, he gives you illusion in the appearance of truth, and I give you truth in the pleasant disguise of illusion. To begin with, I turn back time to 2010. Anthony called me and I was still living in New York for a second time. That's when Anthony began a journey that was held up by a commitment, woven with ethics, big vision, and possibility. I moved back to LA and I was sure as hell on board. Many have benefited from this commitment. I am among them. To watch so many grow and succeed from this experience has been incredible. Anthony, I'm super, super proud of you, my brother. In 2014, I was hired to lead a film in the Amazon jungle. Anthony, I worked on the material and explored the role in class. The role, unbeknown to me, would be a career-changing experience. I went to the Oscars and I became a leader in my beloved industry. Traveled the world, and magic was created. I was able to change perspectives and empower lives. That, ultimately, is what mattered. As a teacher myself, I've seen breakthrough after breakthrough here with you guys. Whether your empathy evolved, your confidence increased, you thought you were going to be a star, and that just turned into you becoming a better person. A father, a mother, a writer, or maybe just a better roommate. Families have been created both in friends and through sex. Love and compassion of your fellow humans. Now more than ever, the world needs your voice, your artistry, your articulation of what is just. Artists are often silenced in these times because we have the power, we have knowledge, we have a connection to humanity's most vital truths. Anthony, my brother, thank you for offering the empty space that bears witness to creativity and magic and possibility. Thank you to everyone who has carried the torch of creative empowerment. Finally, to everyone who has benefited from the environment, I leave you with this quote by Sidney Smith, given to me a very long time ago at the beginning of my career. Whatever you are by nature, keep to it. Never desert your line of talent. Do what nature intended you for, and you will succeed. I approach every aspect of my life with these three concepts: curiosity, discovery, and possibility. It's been a remarkable journey, and a friendship like brotherhood. With you as an extended family, your voice matters. Your art is uniquely yours. Your journey is yours. Lay claim and keep being what nature intended you for. And I'm here. We're all here. This family will never, ever, ever be outside of your DNA. So I love you, man. I love you guys. Congratulations, and keep up the good work. Oh, one more thing. In the words of my favorite playwright, I don't want truth. I want what ought to be the truth. I want magic. Much love, everybody. Much love.
All right, everyone. So, time for our next performer. Someone who is very, very special to this studio, who has been there with Anthony long before the studio was his own, someone who's also taught at this studio and has also played a significant role in the lives and careers of a lot of the actors in this studio, someone who's very, very loved. So I'm going to invite him up to talk a little bit about his piece, but put it together for Nick Marinson.
Where am I?
Step forward.
Oh, hey. All right. Fuck. I'm trying to make it through this. I hope you can understand me as I try to speak. Fuck.
We love you, Nick.
I so love all of you. And I fucking love you. I pointed at Anthony for those who can't see. I also love you, Francis, so don't worry. I found this studio. I was a lost boy. Came out to LA from Florida. A lot of hopes, and I was not doing great. Emotionally, physically, it was not a happy time, and I was wanting to make a change. And I found Anthony by chance. He was at a different studio at the time. And it wasn't that studio, it was him that really saved me. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. So in a lot of ways, I know you like Pinocchio, but you're my Peter Pan, man. You saved this lost boy, and I know I'm not the only one. There's a lot of lost boys and girls out there who somehow found their way to this studio and found this pen. And for those that have been to a lot of these breakthroughs, I usually sing, but you can see I wouldn't fucking make it like this. So thank you, Ariel, for saying you were going to make a video. Because I'm like, yeah, I want to make a video too, because I'm going to be a hot mess. So this is my way to say thank you to the studio and to all of you and to you. No. No, not yet. No. Alright, let's try this again. Remember to breathe. Okay. It is November 2024. I am Nick Marinson, and at the recommendation of my therapist, this is a video diary. A few weeks ago, my acting coach, Anthony Gilardi, made the announcement in class that he will be closing down the Anthony Gilardi Acting Studio. And at first, I didn't know how I felt about it. I mean, this studio means everything to me. This was my home. This was where I made lifelong friendships. This was where I learned how to act. This was where I became the kind of actor I always wanted to be. In the weeks following the announcement, I went down a dark road of deep depression. I'm ashamed to say that I even wore the same Kermit the Frog socks for days to, I don't know, try to make myself feel better.
And I'm trying to leave something behind. This old world is a foreign land. We swallow the moon, but we don't know our own hand. Oh, we're running with the case.
Then things got worse.
Hitchhiker. Oh, oh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
And I cannot read what I did not read. I've been to his house, but the master is gone. Yet we're trying to leave something behind. Now there is a beast who's taking my brain. You can put me to bed, but you can't feel my pain. When the machine has taken the soul from the man.
It was unhealthy, to say the least.
I said nothing can take away these blues, 'cause nothing compares to you.
Then randomly, I began to hear Anthony's voice.
Let us in. Let us in. Come on, Nick. You got this. Nick, let us in. You got this. You got this. You got this.
And I realized this wasn't the end of something. This was the start of something new. And I needed to be a hippo.
If you've never heard of Hippo Life, it stands for humanity, inspiration, preparation, perseverance, and originality. Hippo. See what I did there? Spells out hippo. And as we know, a hippo just moves forward. Doesn't move side to side, doesn't move backwards, sees its goal in the distance, doesn't stop walking until it reaches its goal.
I was going to be okay. Anthony in the studio taught me everything I needed to know. What made the studio so great was never about the studio. It was the students and the teachers that made it so great. And Anthony wasn't going anywhere. He was always going to be my coach. The best is yet to come.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Man, did I not see that coming. That was, I have no words. That was great. I can't, I'll be processing this. I'll have to make my own video just for that video. I'll be like, and then Nick made a video at Breakthrough. So you know how much I love you. This next person online, coming from the heart of the Commonwealth, Worcester, Mass. He's there right now. And he's going to say a few words. You heard of these big time movies that have been produced out of Boston, like The Town, Mystic River, huge movies, all of them great. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my friend Chris Nutt.
That one never gets old.
And,
you were in The Town? No, I wasn't in The Town. I was Chris Neville.
No, I asked them if they knew those movies, and then I introduced you.
Oh, man. You guys really messed me up because I had some notes. I made some notes. And I had some bullet points and stuff, but wow, you guys are doing a phenomenal job, and you're bringing back some memories. For those who don't know, Anthony and I have known each other for close to 25 years. Holy shit, 25 years, man. God. And wow, 13 years with the studio. I remember at the old studio, Anthony and I coaching and having to go after class to Rush Street. Have a couple of years after we got into it with you guys with the bully exercise and stuff, and really going, wow, we got teeth today, you know. But, and then wondering, you know, when you started your new venture with the Anthony Gilardi Acting Studio, you know, how is it going to go? What a scary, stressful, but exciting time. And who's going to show? Who's going to come? But I remember, oh God, Nick, I'm getting emotional too.
I'm sorry.
I was good. I was so good. But I remember the opening night, and the place was packed, man. The place was packed, and it was packed because of those nights we would have, and we would sit there, I was there. You were you were getting down on your hands and knees with these guys and really giving them everything that you had. And you packed the house every night, brother. 13 years you packed the house. That's saying something. That's dedication to the craft, to your students, to your friends, to your family. It's no easy feat to stay in business for 13 years. Most small businesses, they fall in like 3-5 years, maybe. 13 years, you could keep going, man. That is freaking amazing. 13 years of breakthroughs and showing you the unique techniques. Man, you really had a legacy here, man. And again, yeah, and congratulations to you, Christina, Noah, Sid, for doing it. I know, you know, you had help, and man, you got some great people around you. So before I really start crying, congratulations. I love you. Can I shut off my camera now?
Who did you hire for your set designer there?
What happened?
The set design is really nice with the wedding photo in the back.
My wife.
Yeah. Very good, man. Very good. Okay. All right.
Is that someone's phone?
Do you hear that? Yeah.
What is what?
That sound.
Someone's alarm's going off?
What alarm?
It sounds like it's out.
Oh, is it outside?
Oh.
All right. So I think that I don't want to block you.
Forget about me. You get the angle of you. You good like this?
Yeah, look at like this.
Lights good and everything?
Wait, can you guys get closer so I can see both?
All right, here we go. Can we actually can we get closer metaphorically?
Physically, absolutely not. He's a germaphobe. Like, so, you know, we'll have a bit of a chat now, and to get Anthony's take on everything over the last 13 years. But I wanna just start with a couple of things based on the things that we just saw. All right. Firstly, you've always said that whatever happens on this stage shouldn't remain on this stage. And I think it's so fitting that Ariel and Nick did those films. And something that can live on long after tonight as well. So that was beautiful. And then coming to what Chris said, you know, he's absolutely right. 13 years is no small achievement. 13 years to have an acting studio that you started from scratch in Hollywood, and to pretty much run the entire thing for the majority of the time on your own and with Noah, just a two-man show. That in itself is a huge achievement, and you know you can only do something like that if you really love what you do. So, first question is that what do you love the most about being an acting coach and having your own studio?
Oh God, help me. All right, so here we go. I mean, I always love, I'm gonna keep this really, really simple. I don't have any children of my own, biological children, I should say. I know I call you guys my kids, so I'm gonna just simply say something that you already know and everyone already knows. What I love the most about it is the pride that I personally get selfishly from seeing my kids grow up following their dreams and fulfilling their dreams, being successful, finding each other, like just being better people. I mean, again, I'm not a parent technically, but I'm gonna have to assume that that's every parent's goal. And that's what every parent loves most of all. And I'm just gonna lump myself in with that category. That's what I love the most, by far.
Amazing. And then you've seen a lot through the years, right? You've seen, I want to say it's close to 1,000 actors come and go over those years. And you know, some of them have gone on to very big things. Some of them are still very much here. Others aren't in the business anymore, but you'll still have memories of them. So any favorite moments through the years?
Nev said something about opening night. I remember opening night. Very stressful because it was like, all right, yeah, we did this. I remember talking to Noah. I was like, all right, we're here. Is anyone going to come? No one's going to come. The fuck? There was no guarantee that everyone's going to come. So that was like just like having people show up opening night. Don't forget, they weren't studio members yet. They just came to see, like, you know, whatever. So that didn't guarantee that the business was going to take off. And so that was really cool. And again, there's nothing in the world like watching TV or going to the movies or whatever the case may be where you see your kids. I mean, I would equate that to like I don't know, a father watching his son playing in Little League or whatever the case may be. I have a lot of great memories. They're not all like great. A lot of them were scary too.
Yeah.
And can I talk about those because those are long-lasting memories.
Of course, yeah.
Like I had, over the years we had to come up with our own rules because there was no like blueprint for this. So I started a studio. I was like, all right, I know how to be an acting coach. I was doing it at a different studio, and we're gonna do it our way. We're gonna do things our way, our way, our way. And I had all these like exercises that I came up with and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden we're there, and like nobody was governing me. Like I was the boss. So everyone's like, all right, coach, what are we gonna do tonight? I'm like, well, tonight we're gonna try this, and there was nobody over me to say like, bad idea. So I had to like it was like a trial and everything. It's like I don't know what the hell's going on. That being said, I had these like exercises that I didn't realize were dangerous until they were dangerous. I didn't, like, you know what I mean? And you were there for a lot of them. And I am going to tell one story. I'm going to tell a story, and it stays here, okay? No one can ever repeat this story because this could have gotten me in trouble. This could have been the end of the studio. So basically, in the foundation class, I would want my actors to like leave themselves and then come into a character. So I couldn't just say that. God forbid I just say, okay, we're going to get into character right now and we're going to do our exercise. I couldn't just say that. That just wasn't my style. So I had to come up with like something really, really cool to get them out of themselves and into their character. So I was like, all right, here's the thing, right? I'll put them all in a circle, right? I was younger then. I looked more like you. I had like black hair. And I was like, I got my guns, right? Yeah, I'm standing. I'll show you. So I got my guns, my imaginary guns, and this is what I'm gonna do. I was like, I'm gonna go around the room and shoot everybody. And then when I shoot you, you fall down and die. And then when you are reborn, you're reborn into your character. It's like, right? How fucking badass is that? So on paper, I was like, this is awesome. This is fucking awesome. So I go around and I just feel like, bang, bang, bang. And then I forgot the humanity part of it. Because one night I'm doing that, it was really, really cool. Then, you know how you taught the foundation class for a long time too. Nick, you taught the foundation class for a long time. Everyone tries to like outdo the other person. It's very competitive, very like sibling rivalry. So everyone's trying to like die a better way and stuff like that. I should have seen this coming. So I go up to Nick Marinson. Nick Marinson, student at the time, and right there, I went up, boom, boom. She closes his eyes, and he just falls back straight, right? Not like no net, no nothing. But you see those blocks? Smashes his head on the block. Blood, like when I tell you a pool of blood. So now, it all happened so fast, I'm standing over him like this. What the fuck? What am I gonna do? What the fuck am I gonna do? Were you there?
Oh, I was there.
Yeah.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
We'll film you in.
It was before, so we don't have it on camera. We don't have it on tape. Oh, thank God. So okay, and then we were like, all right. Like I wasn't thinking. It was like I think it might have even been you. So it was like, are we gonna take him to the hospital? I was like, we're in the middle of we're just warming up here. We can. It's like, could someone take him to the hospital? I think that's where you got to tell me.
What actually happened, so to fill in some of the blanks, to tell you how much blood there was, right? You could see it. The stage was black.
Yeah.
And yet you could see this, just like reflecting people's faces. Look at Nick, all right. Look back at his face.
Stained for like a year.
It's stained the floor.
It's stained, but I'll never forget his reaction. You just hear this, like you hear the gunshot, then you see he hit the guns.
Yeah.
You see him hitting the floor, and then in like some delayed, you then hear what sounds like a gunshot, but it's his head hitting the box, right? And then he gets up, and he's like, Yep, I'm bleeding.
I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding, everyone.
Fortunately, we had a studio member that night. She was a nurse.
Yeah.
Chin Chin.
It wasn't
No, not
definitely
Chin.
not Chin Chin. But
Something Chen, but you're not too far away.
Katie Chen.
Yeah, Katie.
Katie Chen.
He doesn't. He wasn't even there.
No, I was more like Chin Chin was definitely not in the field. Like,
she wasn't taking anyone in.
But anyway, fortunately, that got fixed.
He came in next week with like a little patch of shaved head with staples on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, how you feeling, Nick? No, I'm fine. I'm ready to go. I'm an actor. That's what I do. So long story short, because Sid asked me my favorite moments. Of course, my favorite moment only because he was okay. But the reason why I love moments like that is because now I'm learning as I go. So now it becomes one of these. Note to self: no more gunplay, finger gunplay, and that kind of like transition from actor to character evolved into me going around the room, right, with like a handful of invisible magical pills, and carefully like placing them in somebody's hand, having them take it, and then like slowly, like almost like slowing them, easing them down to the ground, and then they fall asleep, and then they wake up. So it went from the guns to that, and one more quick story. So this is something that I should have seen coming as well, because I actually had an outer body experience. We were doing the caveman exercise, right? And again, things seem like on paper they work so well. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have them tap into their raw humanity. They're gonna be cavemen, right? And I'm gonna introduce things that human beings have today that we take for granted, and they are like, what's the matter? They are like intrinsic, and they're like intrinsic to humanity, like just like raw animal essence, right? Like religion and stuff like that. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna preach religion or anything like that, but I'm gonna show how like these things are formed by humanity. So I have them all as cavemen, right? So you all know, right? Remember how long we would do? We would do like 1 hour. They never left the caveman thing. So they would like go home at night, like driving their car. Fucking crazy. So I got them in a frenzy. Right? So I'm going around after like after a while. So I'd like tap you on the shoulder and say, your tribe is on the right. Your tribe is on the left, right? So now I'm separating them. Now this is like I'm showing like how different countries, different political views and stuff, how human beings just like separate by nature. And then I didn't say that that's your enemy, those are your friends, nothing. All I said was, you go on that side, you go on this side. And now all of a sudden they're looking at each other. And they're on this side, they're on the stage is like 20 feet long. And I go in the prop closet, we had like go see wheelchair? No, like the
Rolling pin?
A rolling pin. And so I had it's just a wooden rolling pin, sit, right? And I was like, here we go. It's another thing that made sense on paper. I was like, all right, everybody. Now here, they're on this side, they're on this side. See this? This is God. Everyone's, oh. And I throw it up in the air. And then now it's like slow motion. As it's up in the air, I'm like, oh shit. What did I just do? And it's like going like this, it's like a slow motion thing, and it hits the ground, and then all of a sudden, the two tribes. It was like a scene from
2001.
No, like Gladiator. Like like what's the one with Mel Gibson?
Braveheart.
No, whatever. Like one of those movies with two like Braveheart. Thank you. It was like two, and boom, and they meet in the middle, and there's bodies flying everywhere, blood, everything, and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck did I do? And I go on the corner. Note to self. No more cavemen with God. Got it. That exercise evolved to like all right, you're a caveman, but you're in like an imaginary box. You can see everybody, but you can't touch them. It's like, what the fuck is that? It's like years later, it's like, what happened to me? It's like crazy.
No, yeah.
Two of my favorite moments to answer your original question.
But that actually brings me on to the next one, which is, so I mean, those that were there back in the day, you know, the training has evolved, to say the least. You know, the times have changed, so certain exercises might not be...
Just don't work anymore.
Just don't work anymore, and, you know, this classes started getting recorded, so it's changed.
Then there's that.
Then there's that. But, and this is a question for you, and actually this would probably be one that Nick would be able to answer as well. Then we were sort of forced to change things simply because the pandemic happened, right? And then everything went online, and honestly, I mean, I remember when that happened, it was, I think I was the first ever scene that you did, me and Kara, online, to basically to test if you could do this thing, like whether or not it would work. You like got a group of people together and it's like, let's test it.
It wasn't even a real class, we were just saying like, can we do this?
Can we do this? Does it work? Like, how's this Zoom thing, like, what's this, like, is it gonna work? And then it did work, and then not only were you able to do scene study online, Nick was eventually able to do the foundation class online, which is pretty cool. And you know, it did then sort of by force, but it made the studio evolve to the point that now we can have students in Australia, in China, in Sweden, in Germany, all over the world. And yeah, right, we have some here now. So what it did was it did really take the studio global. But it did require you to make a lot of changes.
Yeah.
So any sort of stories behind that or anything you want to share?
Well, first of all, like if I say this all the time. If you told me 5 years ago that we could do a scene study, any kind of acting class on your computer, I'd say you're crazy. So it's like really stressful times because it's like, all right, we're not closing the door. We just got to figure out how to evolve. And once I started like it started working, I said to myself, it was like, because I come from theater, like I was a theater guy for a long time before I even started coaching and stuff like that. And that time I didn't have a lot of acting opportunities, so we would make our own opportunities doing theater. So I was like, I like this. I like the stage. I like, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this was before the time of like, and I mean this sincerely, phones with cameras.
Oh yeah. So exactly. So you want to get yourself out there, you produce a flick.
That was literally the only way to be seen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and now I'm like, all right, if I'm really gonna have the best acting studio in the world and be the best acting coach, it's like, you know, I think we're onto something, because this training is actually better for TV and film than the stage is, like a regular conventional acting class, right? So I think that like the changes that we made, and then that came like to like something that you do in class all the time with on-set exercises and that kind of stuff. I'll be willing to bet anything that we would never come up with anything like that if we weren't forced to adjust the way we were training actors for TV and film with artificial eye lines and like, you know, and I know like they were sitting in their living room and they were putting tape on like their like whatever, like on their walls and all that stuff. Every now and then you'd see like their cat walk by. It's fucking crazy. But to answer your question, those changes were actually positive. And again, I'm so happy that happened. It was a crazy stressful 2 years, as you know. But it turned into a lot of the things that we do today. So I'm glad in a lot of ways that happened, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. It definitely enhanced the training, and more importantly, it brought us in line with how the industry has evolved anyway. So I think we were sort of ahead of the curve with that. Everything moved to self-tape and like that, well, because we've been training doing it during the pandemic. I think that was a big help. It's funny because I remember at the old studio when we do the on-set exercises, the artificial eye line used to be that punching bag. And then we learned when we came here, we can actually just use a person.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, it never even occurred to us. Like, how did that not occur to us? There was like 30 people in the room. We're like, well, where are we going to get something to look at?
So we had this one of those floor punching bags. A couple more. As I said, like it's been close to 1,000 actors that have come and gone over the years, and I know that you say that you remember everyone, or maybe not necessarily by name or by face, but something that they did. For example, like you remember when so and so worked on.
Oh man,
on this or on that. Any specific ones that stick out, and is that actually true?
It is amazingly true, because I don't know what you know about me, but I'm really, really, really not that smart. Honestly, I swear to God, I know. I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue. That being said, Nev, mind your business. So I forgot what I was even going with this. Oh yeah, I could probably go back to everybody's first scene that they've done in class and stuff. Please don't call me out on this.
I don't even remember my first.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, I was like I had to be present, especially when somebody was new. And like they were going out on such a limb to like pursue their dream, and they were taking it so seriously that I always felt like I owed them like everything, like to be present and there for them, and whatever the case may be. I took like probably too much pressure on myself, but that's why I remember them. It's not because I have a great memory. It's because like they needed me to be present for them, so I was, and I'm like, I remember the first thing you did. Sometimes I remember the clothes that they were wearing and stuff like that. It's bizarre. And then I say to myself, like, is this like an obsession? Like, what the fuck is going on? It's very strange. But that's probably why I remember so many things.
So I can actually attest to that it's not strange, because ever since I started doing scene study 2 years ago, I do the same thing.
You know what I'm talking about.
And it's because, you know, if you care enough, you are going to be invested. And when you're invested in anything, you tend to remember those minute details.
I'll bet anything you could do the same thing.
Don't put me...
No. We'll just leave it at
And then, I mean, I've got this written down. I almost hesitate to ask it but, you know, any regrets or anything that you know, looking back on it now over 13 years, kind of thinking that maybe I could have done this or I shouldn't have done that.
I think like the word regrets has a bad rap. You know what I mean? Because it's one of those things. It's like I could easily say I'm so proud of what we did that I have no regrets. Like I could say that and leave it at that, but that's really not like human. Like, you know what I mean? No one's gonna believe that, or at least I wouldn't believe it if someone said it in front of me. I think that instead of saying like, yeah, I wish this, I regret this, or whatever the case may be, I think that the best thing I could do, especially as a teacher or coach, is like give advice. Like with this regret thing, number one, like don't really call it regret, call it like an opportunity to learn. And then like, but if I was gonna go back and say, you know, we're talking about being obsessed. I was always obsessed with like, how could it get better? You know, how could it get better? How could I get better? And every single day, no matter how great it became, I was always like, but now what? Like, but now what? Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, Sid, but I think that I would say, if anything, I just wish that I enjoyed the moments more. Like, and I think that whatever you embark on, and I'm going to turn it on you guys now, like, if you're really not enjoying the moment that you're in it, then, like, why are you even doing it? Like, you know, I was always, like, 2 steps ahead, which was fine because it really, like, helped, but I could have done both. Like, I could have enjoyed each moment, like, just savored everything, took, like even in these crazy caveman exercises, I could have just, like, sat back and was like, look at this shit, like, this is crazy, like, look at this, they're listening to me. They're bleeding, yeah, you know, but what are you gonna do? People bleed, right? That's not my fault. And I just wish I did that, I just wish I did that a little more. So, but instead of saying, like, I feel bad about anything, it's more like I'm just gonna say that, remember this. Remember that you need to enjoy the moment. The memories are great, but nothing is like the moment. And that's that.
Nice. And then finally, for those who don't know, what's next? What's in the pipeline?
Well, this is going to be very interesting because I've been thinking a lot about this. And, you know, like the first step is going to be private coaching and one-on-one training, stuff like that. But what we are going to evolve to is something that I wanted to do in the first place, but it just wasn't like, the structure was not like ready, like the time wasn't ready, society wasn't ready. And I go back to the 1950s with Cassavetes, and he had a studio and he had all his people, including his wife, who's the best actor in the world, in the studio. And, you know, it was a lot like ours, but I'm gonna like find a way to bring something like that back, where we're producing stuff and everyone's gonna have the opportunity, writers, directors, producers, actors, of course, and, you know, and we're just going to create our own breaks. Now, don't forget, in the 50s, there were no, like, everything was studios. There was no independent films. Like people like John Cassavetes were the first independent filmmakers, and now we take it for granted that, you know, everyone's an independent filmmaker. But just imagine at the time that there was none of that. You talk about YouTube and phones and stuff like that. There wasn't even anything outside the studio. And if you didn't have a studio contract, then you weren't making a movie. You just weren't. So he would have his peeps who would get together and do like very similar to what we would do. And okay, let's turn this into something. Let's turn this into something else. And he would just write it. Him and his wife, Jenna, they put their own money in and they would just make a movie. Bang. And they made a lot of them. So the evolution of the studio will be something that looks more like that. And we're going to revolutionize the way actors are being trained. I think the biggest problem with acting studios are there's nowhere to go once you hit a level where that you're like, all right, I'm a masterclass actor. It's like at some point you're going to say, well, who gives a fuck? Like, honest to God, where is that going? Where's that? What is that giving you? And I really never liked that in acting classes anyway. So that's going to be the evolution. We're going to like break the glass ceiling that acting classes have created, and just see where that goes. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Amazing. Well, thanks. Anything else?
No, I got nothing.
That.
Who's next?
Yeah. So while we take these away, this next performer is someone else who means a lot to so many people in this studio. He is, you know, he's been here, I want to say 9 years. He's really, every time he gets up on stage, he puts every ounce of himself into everything that he does. And he's an inspiration to watch. More than that, he's been the key student in Monday's class for a couple of years, and if you've ever been in that class, you'll know that he has gone over and beyond what is required of him to help out the students. I mean, he works in the Tuesday class, yet he'd learn scenes for people in the Monday class just so they wouldn't have to do it with a reader. Completely unprompted, by the way. I mean, and that's just the sort of guy that he is. So, put it together for Luis Garcia.
Sid.
Yes.
I so wasn't ready, bro. Can y'all, you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Alright, if you guys can put your hands together for Anthony fucking Gelati! Beautiful. Have a seat, motherfucker. All right. Everybody settle down. Down. Even downer. God damn it. Anthony's a little bit emotional today. So he's being a little sweet, a little, you know, crying. I'm gonna speak to you guys the way Anthony speaks to us, in subtext. A lot of you have questions about why I'm gonna close down this studio. You motherfuckers drove me crazy. When I got to this studio 13 years ago, I had my hair, it was dark. Now, look at this. I don't know what happened between last night and tonight, but when I went to sleep, it was a little salt, a little pepper. Now I see you, it's all salt, no pepper. What the fuck did somebody do to you? Am I yelling? Am I yelling? Somebody yelling. All right, everybody calm the fuck down. Whew. This is unbelievable. There's a lot of people out tonight. Give some hands out. Reminds me of my wedding night. Oh! Get out of here! Get out of here! You know, I don't know where to go from there. If I had one final message for you guys, well, actually, I was very inspired by your video, Nick. Yeah. What it really taught me is that I never had dark hair. As the years went back, I said, this was just an illusion. It's just a fantasy expectation, if you will. I did watch a David Goggins video a few months ago, and I came in here and I said, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna burn down the fucking boats! And I took it a little too far, you guys. And now tonight, we're gonna burn down this motherfucker. See a couple of other gray hairs. Nice to see us. We made it. See it? You saved yourself. Well, I do want to say one thing that Anthony Gilardi has taught me. Because I've been with you all your life. I was a part of you that really fucked up pretty bad. A lot of motherfuckers didn't like me. But you took me, you molded me like a broken glass, piece by piece, into the motherfucker that stands before you today. 13 years in Los Angeles. And like Chris said, it's not that expensive. It's really not. It's economy. I hear it all the time, Coach. I can't afford rent. What the fuck do you want me to do? Neither can I. Guys, I will leave you guys with this, all right? When I started this studio, there was one word in my mind. Multiplicating mushrooms? I don't know. But I thought deeply, what does this studio need? And I told myself, hippos. But I didn't just say hippo, I thought deep. Now I can look at all 30 of you in this fucking room and the 129 online and tell you guys that a hippo stands for humanity, inspiration, preparation, perseverance, which was a tough one for me. And originality. And I think this studio is pretty original. But I thought even deeper. I said it's not just a hippo with a cool acronym. We've got to have a metaphor. So the metaphor for this hippo is that a fucking hippo, it sees its goal and it just fucking goes for it. You know? Step after big ass step. And if there's anything in its way, it fucking stomps on it. Not on purpose, but if it's in the way. Shouldn't have been there. So I want to tell all my hippos that it's time to fucking fly, motherfuckers.
Fuck away from me. Freak me out, man. You freak me out. I didn't know this was going to turn into a roast.
Christina, that's not Anthony. That's Anthony.
Oh, I know.
You were going for like, okay. She got the rope.
Look at this, my two guys.
Oh man.
Louis is going to be my understudy.
So, just imagine if we thought of this 13 years ago. We could have
I know.
split the classes.
I know.
It solved everything. All right. Well, it's fitting that the next person to perform. I'm going to tell you who it is, and then I want to say something. But put it together for Christina. In case you don't know this, everyone in the studio will have at some point or another communicated with Christina, especially if you're new, because she would have set up your orientation and your audit and all of that sort of stuff. But if you don't know this already, Christina is Anthony, the actual Anthony, not the one that was here, his wife. And the reason I need you all to know this is because this is probably something else we should have told people at the beginning. Because I remember there was this one time where Christina was doing her yoga classes, and it was online, it was on Zoom, and there was a new studio member that had joined, and had come to a week of class, and had come and joined in on this Zoom yoga, sees Christina, and he's doing his downward dogs and tree pose and all that shit. And then in walks in his underwear in the background, Anthony. What is this acting studio? And we had to explain.
I told him I was breaking in a new employee.
Well, there you have it. So for those of you who don't know, Christina is Anthony's wife, but more than that. But more than that, she has been a lot of the time behind the scenes, and for a while she was Anthony's key student when he first started doing his first class in his old studio, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when we came here as well, Christina is, and I'm sure Anthony would say this as well, the backbone of this whole place. She keeps it going. She does so much behind the scenes, and she's been, obviously such a support to Anthony, but she's been really a support to every single one of us, and we're all very, very lucky to have her. And that's it. Yeah. Christina.
Beautiful introduction, thank you.
You stand over there, just stand.
Hi everyone. Hi. It's so nice to be here, and I'm so honored just to be a part of this beautiful community. And I was going to say a lot of things before, but a lot of people have already said what I was going to say, but I will say that I do remember when Anthony first said that he wanted to start his own acting studio. And I remember thinking it was a great idea because... No, because I knew he loved teaching, and I knew how passionate he was, and I think if you love what you do and you're passionate at what you do, it's going to work out. So there was no doubt in my mind that it was going to be successful. And I know that we did have concerns, but deep down inside I knew it was going to be amazing. I'm just really proud to be here, and I'm so proud of my man, Anthony. And not just because of how successful the studio is. His goal really was, his words were, it's going to be the greatest acting studio in the world, which I know you've all heard him say that. I really think it did turn out that way. It's pretty amazing, the studio. It's incredible. But the real reason why I'm proud of my man is because of, like Sid said, it's just such a beautiful, safe, loving space that has been created for people to express themselves and share their innermost feelings. And it's just a loving space. And the community that came out of it is so beautiful. The way everyone is so supportive with each other and no one's judging. It's just, it really turned into a family. And I'm just honored to be a part of this family. And I feel like we've all conquered our fears here, which is pretty cool. So I like that too. And I feel like, yeah, it's bittersweet. So it does have sadness that it's like the end of a journey, but it's also the beginning of something cool, like Anthony was saying in that interview, that I think we're all going to start creating things together now. And that's pretty exciting. I feel like we're going to create some cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. There were other things, but I'm sure I'm forgetting things. But I'll see you all later and we'll talk more. But I am going to, along the lines of moving forward and the excitement and the things that we have to look forward to, just read a little something for all of us. So, moving on, jumping in, letting go, and transitioning. We're taking a leap of faith. It's time to play. It's time to let your soul run wild. Show the world the part of you that you've been hiding for so long. Express your truth. Express your joy. And express your beautiful pain. Be courageously vulnerable. Wear your heart on your sleeve and feel it all. Begin to truly live. Begin to truly love. Follow your heart's desires. Live fearlessly, live free. Trust and new beginnings. It's time to spread your wings.
All right, this is the real Anthony now. I can prove it. The next person that is coming from, I believe he's in Chicago right now, if I'm not mistaken. He was at a studio where I was teaching before we created this. And he was always one of my faves. He was one of the inspirations for the coaches' challenges. He had what we call like a bully that he couldn't get past. It was like expressing vulnerability or whatever it is. He was young. He might have even been like a teenager, but he'll verify that. And he was like, you know, he was like more than just like a little brother. To me, I would. All right, everybody, calm down. I would always call him BB, baby brother, and but I do have to say this, and he's gonna hate me saying this. If I ever had a son, I would want him to be like Romel Rose.
Okay, I didn't expect that introduction. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm gonna try to sum this up. I don't have a big elaborate speech, but I did want to share some words that are on my heart. I met Anthony in late 2010, or I don't know if it was 2010, 2011, but these were very pivotal years for me. As Nick was saying, we kind of all came into the space kind of lost, and this environment community really gave us a lot of sense of family and direction. And specifically, it was significant because this is around the time where I'm in college, and I literally told my mother I'm going to stop going to college to pursue acting. And if you all could assume, that conversation did not go well. And the studio really was a space for me to feel belong. And I remember meeting Anthony for the first time, and I was very impressed with what he was saying. It was resonating with everything that I believed in. And he taught me a lot about work ethic. He taught me a lot about just what it takes to not only be successful in the business, but just how to be a man, really. It taught me discipline, and I never take that for granted. I remember, when he was just talking about I had issues expressing vulnerability, and I wasn't really tapped into my emotions. And he had the bully exercise, which was very challenging to me, but it actually changed my life because I was able to really tap into my emotions and reflect that in my art. And it was really groundbreaking for me. So I appreciate you for that, and I thank you for that. And I really just always admired your ability to really get to know each individual student, really getting to know how to push us, because to me that's a testament of a great coach and a great leader. And that's why it was a no-brainer for me when you made the announcement that you were going to start your own studio. It was a no-brainer. I was going wherever you were going, and I don't regret that decision whatsoever. And I always praise the potency of the training that we got too, because it translated into not only just acting, but I started creating my own films. You really preached not waiting on Hollywood and creating our own opportunities. And that was a way for me to get my foot in the door and make so many relationships. So I always praise the high level training that we got within the studio. And quick little story, I'll wrap up, but I remember you always challenge us to not plateau. And we were in a scene one night, and you challenged us. Well, first of all, the scene had dialogue in it. And you told us, you said, great job. Now do it with no dialogue. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, do it with no dialogue? But you said to embody the essence of the words. Don't mime, don't do any miming, but embody the essence of the words, which I so much appreciate that, because it challenged me creatively, and it actually informed what I call a style that I've adopted in my own filmmaking ability, where I use the use of nonverbal communication. And it's just interesting that I didn't realize I was being developed not only creatively, but I was also being developed spiritually, because that's how I believe God speaks to me, very non-verbally, through images, through nonverbal communication. So I just appreciate the training that I've gotten on all levels, mentally, emotionally, creatively, spiritually, and thank you for helping develop me into the man that I'm becoming. Love you guys. And shout out to the original hippos. As you can see, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the OG hippos.
Yeah.
Still great.
And Chris Neville's still flexing. Nice pink shirt, by the way.
All right. Time now for the final performance of the night, and I think it's very fitting that it ends who it is. Again, someone who's been an integral part of the studio ever since she joined in 2015, around that time. Goes out of her way to introduce herself to absolutely everyone she meets, even if they're just auditing and you never see them again. She's run the social media for the studio, and she's just been someone that has been just such a bright spark in the space consistently in every class. So put it together for Elena.
Anthony went to the bathroom and he just went like this as he was running by in the hallway.
Don't worry about it.
So I'll just stand here for just a quick moment. How's everybody doing? Good. Okay, good.
So you might also, if you've never met her as Elena, you might know her as Franny. Something else that, until Anthony, by the way, for those of you who are online, Anthony's gone for a quick, what's it called? A 10-1?
10-1.
10-1.
Yeah.
Don't
worry.
Something else. Here he is.
Period. I just wanted to start out by saying that the universe is really fucking with me today, and it's really unkind, because it was already, I really never thought that this day would come. Like when you told me that we were closing about all the way back in October, I was like, we have plenty of time. Who's gonna worry about, that's for future Elena to worry about. Like, this is not for today. We have 2 months. Like, and now it's here, and I have not had a good day. I tried to calm down by doing some yoga, and I twisted my right wrist, so it's not great. And then I tried to take a hot shower to calm down, and I jammed this finger. So I think it's a very clear message from the universe telling me to go fuck myself. But like I don't know. But I mean, I made it. And enough to be standing here. And then I tried to class it up with some tights, and the universe was like, stop it, remember who you are. Why are you trying to be anything else other than who you are? So I am struggling, and I kind of wish I went the route that Nick and Eric did, because like I am using humor to not cry right now, because it's gonna. We love you, Elena. Thank you, love you too, and it's gonna be really shitty for a second. I'm going to do a song. Okay, this is silly. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Right? We're fine. Okay. I'm going to do a song that I wrote 7 years ago. It's the first song I ever wrote. I performed it for my first breakthrough. And as the studio is evolving, I also evolved this song. I added a verse and I changed some things, and it's a song that I used to cope with things that I didn't know how to cope with before I found this place. And for a really long time, I felt like I was broken, and I didn't know like how to be the best version of myself and to just like walk around the world feeling good. And I think through all of the work that I did here with you guys has been really, really important, and it life-saving, as Nick was saying. So, okay, hopefully that's it. And so I just want to say thank you guys so much for leading us and for just creating a space where magic can really happen. They're not demons per se, it's getting through every day, knowing how much that I am blessed, remembering not to stress, cause it only magnifies the anxiety that lies here. I try to focus on obsession of keeping track of possessions that are lost in my tangled mind. Hey, it's fear that I'm facing when my words are lost in translation. I can't define with song and rhyme how I lose my mind the most. Gotta keep the faith and my worries behind me, instead of chasing ghosts. I have self-prophesized my inevitable rise, and I'll keep moving forward, though my thoughts feel distorted. I'll organize them with my journal and pen, with my music I'll never hide. Hey, it's fear that I'm facing when my words are lost in translation. I can't define with song and rhyme how I lose my mind the most. Gotta keep the faith, and my worries behind me, instead of chasing ghosts. Not trying to be a burden, I'm learning to make sense of the churning of words, woes and worries, fighting the fear and the flurry of my stream of consciousness, making strides to acquiesce, overthinking and sinking again into oblivion, while my mistakes and regrets lay in the wake of depression for the sake of regression. Stop and take note of all the words that I wrote with inspiration and the quotes, and it's a recipe recipe of hope. Woo! Hey, we gotta get rid of all these stupid social stigmas. We can try with song and rhyme to make the chaos understood. Gotta keep the conversation going, change their minds for good. We'll never grow and learn until the leaf is turned to address mental imbalance, which limits the talents of the incredible minds who are mistaken for blind when they think in circles outside of the line.
All right, so breakthrough one happened, I think, in 2012 or something. And we did a few where I tried to be a one-man show. After a while, I was like, listen, this isn't even my area of expertise. So what happened was Jason and Amelia took over maybe 7 years ago, something like that. That sound right? So here they are. They have a couple of things to say as well. And Jason and Amelia, boom.
Hi, everybody. My goodness. That's, was it 9 years, 10 years?
10 out of 13
10 out of
breakthroughs.
13.
Wow.
Yeah, I cannot believe it. We are absolutely going to get Saki. We've loved watching this. The girls are sleeping. We've been here with you guys since the beginning. And Elena, as soon as you started that, I started to tear up because that's how I met you, was directing you doing that song. And I started singing along right here. That song just stays with you. And she was our nanny when Lila was born. And this kind of comes through to what I was about to say of family. Anthony, what you created here, and we know it will continue, but you have created a safe place for artists, for people,
For our kids.
come together and really find a place. I mean, I'm not going to go into all of it, but I had many bad experiences in LA, in studios and with mentors and teachers. And what you created is truly magic. And it's family, and it's something that's going to stay together forever. And whatever iteration is next, these people in that room, and I was smiling because I was like, there, Alex, Nick, it's Louise, just people who we love so dearly. And it's all because of you. And coming in and directing it, though that first year when we did it together, you went, you got it from here, I'm handing it off. It has been our absolute joy, honor, and pleasure, And especially once COVID hit, which forced us to leave, it's been our tether to LA, to our artistic identity, to come in to LA, to be directing you here, and then to come in and have that magic week together, putting a show on. It has been a true blessing, and we will love it forever.
The first breakthrough we directed, Anthony said that he was going to speak for like 5 minutes, and a few other people were going to speak for like 2 or 3 minutes. And the speeches lasted for a half hour to 45 minutes. I was like just exploding out of my skin. For the people who have directed, you know I can be a little bit mercurial during the directing process.
Just let him go. It's okay. Just let him go.
No, that you were up at the stage, helping people get on and off stage, so I didn't even have anybody to talk to. I was just exploding in the booth by myself. So I'm not promising the 3-minute time that you gave me to speak is all you're getting tonight.
Yeah.
I'm married because of the studio. I'm married to Amelia because of the studio. I have beautiful photos of my children playing in the studio. I will always cherish every memory I have, but one of the things that made me, I think, realize that you were a man to follow was when you made somebody during scene study get up on it's okay. One of the little black blocks and do the alphabet in character. And they couldn't do it, so you kicked them the fuck out of the old studio. and it just made me realize that all the shit that I need to do in my life, whether it's being a husband, being a dad, being an artist, my life in sales, to find my purpose in it and do it 100%. And don't worry about what people might think or what people might say, and really focus on giving my all and letting my work, like having pride enough in all of my work so that I can communicate the quality of my soul to the people through my work. So thank you for everything from Hippo Life, for breakthroughs, for the future breakthroughs that will happen in whatever version they'll be, for everything the studio has and will be. I love you, your family, and the best is yet to come.
All right, so this is the last you're going to see of me tonight, but before I go, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's here, who's joined in online. I started this off by talking about community, and I think Breakthrough was always that event every year which really highlighted the amazing community that we have. You'd see people just coming for Breakthrough who you hadn't seen in years, but they would still go out of their way to make it for Breakthrough. And it's the same thing this year as well. People from all over the country, all over the world joining. So thanks very much for that. But it does now give me pleasure to introduce one final person. So no surprises, it's Noah. But you know, Noah is someone that you have all at some point or another had dealings with, right? You may not have. You know, Anthony will say it himself, but like when they started this thing, it was literally just Noah and him. And in the last 2.5 years since I became a member of the staff and joined these Monday morning staff meetings that we have, I really got an appreciation for everything that Noah does. I see him having to chase people up to pay their memberships. I get to read some of the emails that he has to respond to. And whatever respect I had for Noah went up by about 500%. But yeah, there's no one that loves Anthony the way that he does and loves this studio, because if he really didn't love Anthony or the studio, he wouldn't have been able to do what he does for this place and still have his own career and his own life and his own family and all of those things. So please join me in welcoming Noah.
I'm Noah. I'm Noah, if you don't know me. I'm the COO of the acting studio, aka Anthony's right-hand man, aka Anthony's wife. I know someone said earlier, I think it was Sid, that Christina's his wife. That is incorrect. Christina's his girl. I'm his wife. I'm sure I'll get into that. I want to start by telling you mine and Anthony's meet cute. But before I do, Anthony, do you know what a meet cute is? No. I didn't think so. So, this is just for Anthony. Everyone else can plug their ears. Meet cute. So a meet cute, it's something these kids are saying these days, like Gen Z. It's when two people meet and it's cute. It's a meet cute.
Okay.
Meet cute.
Got it.
Popular romantic comedies. We'll talk about it later. When I first moved to Los Angeles, I didn't know anyone, and I went to an acting studio, and there was a fellow Bostonian there, and I gravitated to him immediately. And one day, he got his own class, a Saturday workout class, and he needed a key student. For those who don't know what a key student is, it's basically the stage manager of the class. They make sure payments are made, that people are on time, a list is made, class goes smoothly. He came up to me and he asked if I wanted to be his key student, and it was the best day of my life. If you're a struggling actor in LA, being a key student is the fucking dream. A couple months later, I come to him one day and I say, hey, I'm a poor actor. Do you need an assistant? And he goes, you know what, I think I actually might. So I became his assistant. A couple of hours here and there, not much. Fast forward a few months, he comes to me one day, he goes, hey, I think I might open my own acting studio. And I can only do it if you're going to be my office administrator. And I said, great, you just tell me when. So I go back to Boston, doing long distance with my then girlfriend, now wife, and we drive across country. January 8th, around 2 p.m., 2013. I'm standing inside of a coffee shop on Pearl Street with my wife and her cousin. I got a phone call from Anthony Gilardi. I excuse myself, I walk outside, and I pace the curb just like this. Remember like it was yesterday. And Anthony says, do you want to open a studio? We're doing it. You in? And I said, when do we open? 3.5 weeks later, we fucking opened an acting studio. Two guys who have no idea what we're doing. We quickly realized we need a binder. We need classes. We need fees. We need students. We need a Yelp page. What social media? All of these things that we figured out in literally 3 to 3.5 weeks. And we did it. And this is what it's become. And it is, Christina said it earlier, it's the best acting studio in the world. It really is. I am so incredibly proud of what we've done here and what we're going to continue to do. And I'll get to that in a minute, but this man is my fucking brother. He is one of my best friends in the world. I'm going to lose it. Think you got those tissues? He was the MC of my wedding. He is the reason I got married. I didn't marry him, but he gave me good advice to marry my now wife. He is the reason I have a child. Again, I did not have sex with him. It's not how, it doesn't look like that. When I told him Erica was pregnant, he said he threw his hat in the ring for Godfather. And I said, okay, well, I'm Jewish, and that's not a thing. In Judaism, I knew that because I'm Jewish. I said it's not really a thing in our religion or traditions. But he's like, no, it's okay, but I still want to be Godfather. I'm like, no, I hear you, but that doesn't exist. When Anthony and Christina came over to our house and met Caden when he was a few months old, we decided he's the Godfather. I don't know what it means.
Pretty much, they made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
It could mean everything, it could be nothing. I genuinely don't know because, again, it does not exist in my religion that I'm like Jewish. These last 12, 13 years have been just me yelling at Anthony. And he jokes about it and says it, but it's truly me yelling at Anthony every day to stop caring so much, stop trying so hard, stop putting in more work than most of the studio members who are not here anymore. And he didn't listen to me, right?
Yeah.
Clearly. But I want to let you know that what you see he's the greatest acting coach in the world, right? How much he puts in, you see nothing. The things this man does for you, you'll never know. He's one of the best people I've ever known in my life. And this is not a funeral. This is something beautiful and positive. Anthony has reminded me that I'm not COO of the studio, I'm COO of his entire enterprise. So I'm not fucking going anywhere. Anthony's not going anywhere. We're gonna take some time, we're gonna compose ourselves, and then I promise you we're gonna fucking get to work, because that's what we've been doing for 12 to 13 years, and that's what we're gonna continue to do. And now, it is my fucking pleasure to introduce the man of the hour. We love him, we know him, we respect him. Our father figure, Anthony L. Gilardi!
So, this is Tevi, everybody. Tevi is a man of humble means, as he sits on his milk can. He pushes his push cart himself to the town of Adatemka, delivering milk. And he has to push his push cart because his horse died. And he's got to do it himself. And people need their milk. As he is working, he dreams. And he's a dreamer. And as he dreams of things that could be, if things were different in his life, he sings. And so here we go. Now, so, if you look closer at this figurine, right here, oh, my hands are shaking. It says Boston, 1972. A man by the name of Anthony Louis Gilardi went to a play that year with his wife, Janet Gilardi, and the play was Fiddler on the Roof. And he was blown away. And later that year, the Lord took his life. And he bought this, and it was part of my childhood. It was just always there. And I didn't ever get a chance to talk to him, meet him. I was just a baby, and I think I only have one memory that I could actually truly say that it was mine, and that was of him singing If I Were a Rich Man. Like the dreamer that Tevi is, I'm gonna have to assume that Anthony Louis Gilardi Sr. was a dreamer as well. And as the years went by, I would just play the music and play the song. The song would play for me. As I got older, it got dirty and cracked, and as I hit my late teens and 20s, the music box just stopped. And the song ended. And cut to, Tevi would fall and break, and at one point his arm fell off and I like scotch taped it to the back. But still no song in his heart. It just wasn't there. All the way through my 20s. The song just wasn't there. And so when I hit about 30, I got in my car. It was a 1982 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Drove this here and brought Tevi with me because that's the only thing that I owned that was once his. And had it in our house, in our apartment, on a shelf. And one day, I was dusting or whatever I was doing, and Tevi falls off the shelf onto a tile floor, shatters, and 100 pieces. And it just like that, it was gone. And I just froze. I didn't know what to do. And I didn't even realize why. I just went into the bedroom, and my girl, Christina, she knew the whole story, cleans it up, and that's it. 2 weeks later, Christina says, I have a gift for you. She gives me a box, I open it up, it's Tevi, completely restored, painted. Apparently she had found some kind of like family-owned place that puts these things together. When I tell you it was shattered, like not like an arm fell off, like when I was a teenager. It was broken. There was all, I guess she tells me the story later on that there were levels of like prices, you know, I could glue it together for this amount and whatever, like, and it just got really, really expensive. When she picked it up, it was this, back to normal. When she gave it to me, it was 100% brand new. And the music box just magically worked. And all of a sudden, Tevi had a song again. And that song made me want to do things that I always wanted to do, because that song reminded me that I was a dreamer, just like Tevi, just like Anthony Louis Gelati. And I wanted to make sure that if anyone else didn't have a song in their heart, or they did have a song in their heart, that they would have a place to go and express that. So I dedicated my life to this kind of thing. My girl took a broken man and 100 pieces and put them back together and reminded him that the song was always there. And my father never taught me anything directly, but he taught me that it was okay to be a dreamer, and it was also everything to be remembered. 52 years after he's gone, people talk about him all the time, and he's loved. And I've always wondered if 52 years from tonight people will remember me. And how do I want to be remembered? I want to be remembered as a man that fell. I want to be remembered as a man that got up. Fell a lot, got up a lot. I want to be remembered as a man that had moments of doubt, a lot, and moments of hope, a lot. A man that understood that fear was very important to human beings because you cannot define bravery without fear. A man that instilled in his dreamers that taking a risk is the only thing that matters in life. Being remembered is the only thing that matters in life. A man that tried his best to conquer his fears and lead by example. There's no way I could tell my dreamers that they need to take a risk and then they see me not taking any risk. I want you to remember me as a work in progress. I want you to remember me as someone that gave everything that they had until there was nothing left. And I want you to remember me as an imperfect man that created something perfect.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember me. Recuérdame.
Recuérdame, si en tu mente vivo estoy. Recuérdame, mis sueños yo te doy. Te llevo en mi corazón y te acompañaré. Unidos en nuestra canción, contigo ahí estaré. Recuérdame.
Though I have to travel far, remember me. Each time you hear a sad guitar, know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember me. Recuérdame.
Recuérdame, si en tu mente vivo estoy. Recuérdame, mis sueños yo te doy. Te llevo en mi corazón y te acompañaré. Unidos en nuestra canción, contigo ahí estaré. Recuérdame, si sola crees estar. Recuérdame, y mi cantar te irá a abrazar. Aún en la distancia nunca vayas a olvidar que yo contigo siempre voy. Recuérdame.
If you close your eyes and let the music play, keep our love alive, I'll never fade away. If you close your eyes and let the music play, keep our love alive, I'll never fade away. If you close your eyes and let the music play, keep our love alive, I'll never fade away. Remember me.
Si sola crees estar. Recuérdame, y mi cantar te irá a abrazar. Aún en la distancia nunca vayas a olvidar que yo contigo siempre voy. Recuérdame.
If you close your eyes and let the music play, keep our love alive, I'll never fade away. If you close your eyes and let the music play, keep our love alive, I'll never fade away. If you close your eyes and let the music play, Keep our love alive, will never fade away. Remember me.
Si sola crees estar, recuérdame. Y mi cantar te irá a abrazar. Aún en la distancia nunca vayas a olvidar que yo contigo siempre voy. Recuérdame.
If you close your eyes and let the music play, keep our love alive, I'll never fade away. If you close your eyes and let the music play, keep our love alive, I'll never fade away. If you close your eyes and let the music play, keep our love alive, I'll never fade away. Remember me, for I will soon be gone. Remember me, and let the love we have live on. And know that I'm with you the only way that I can be. So until you're in my arms again, remember me.
Remember, walk straight ahead towards your goal. Don't look side to side. Don't look back. If anything gets in your way, fucking stomp on it. Hippo life, baby. All right, snake pit awaits.
I'm crying, y'all crying.